Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I've got a quest for England, and I know people are going to be angry with me now because I have an abandoned quest today, and I feel incredibly stupid as a result of it. If you've been watching recently, I pulled muscles in my back when I went on a cycle ride, and determined to get out and do a video this morning, I have struggled and I've come to a full stop, and now I can barely move, which does seem ridiculous, I know. The plan today, and I will do this, but I will do it in a separate video, was to go and find the grave of a naturalist, a writer called Richard Jefferies, and I've got his book here, one of his books, Life of the Fields, and he's buried in Broadwater Cemetery, which is just at the end of this road behind me, and turn right. I don't even know if it's open. It may not be open in these worrying times. Just so those who are not familiar with him, Richard Jefferies was a naturalist, an ardent conservationist, philosopher, novelist and reporter. He wrote essays which he first published in 1884. He was born, I think, in Coates in Swindon, near Swindon in Wiltshire, and he suffered from tuberculosis most of his life and died quite young. But he inspired many writers, and I think is partly responsible for the whole ecology movement, really, and naturalist movement. I may be wrong there. He was around, as I say, in the 19th century, latter part of the 19th century, and he died in 1887. He'd moved to Goring for the air to help his tuberculosis, but I think he'd only been here about a year or so, and sadly passed away. I forget what age he was. I think in his late 30s or early 40s. So maybe I can put that up on the screen. And the plan today was to go and visit his graveyard, but because of my bad back, I've walked up from my house, and it's about a mile to get there, and my back is completely seized. I've just stopped, done some stretches, and tried to persevere as much as I could, but I've had to give up because, ouch, the pain is too much. So I'm going to slowly, like a snail, make my way back home and try and rest the back, but the secret is to keep the back moving, and I thought a gentle walk would actually do it some good, but clearly it's done the reverse of that. It's actually made it worse. So yes, I am feeling very foolish, and yes, you can all berate me, tell me how ridiculous I am, and that's fair enough. So I'm going to wander back being the appropriate word, through Worthing. So I may as well show you where I am. I forget the name of this. I think I'm in Carnegie Road, and here on the right is this the new school. I say new, it seems new to me, it's been here for a while. I think it's the Bohunt School, which is I guess it's a school, not a college. I'm not really sure. I think it's a college though, isn't it? It's beyond the time when my children, who are now in their late 20s, mid to late 20s, went to school, and so it might have been a college that they could have gone to. I think Georgie went to Worthing College, which is now not where it used to be, which was over in Durrington. It is an unusual modern building here with its strange designs. Oh, okay, I am completely wrong. This is Northbrook Metropolitan College. Oh, Bohunt School is right next door to it. Okay, so when you're not a parent, well, I'm still a parent, when you're not a parent whose children are at school, it's very easy to become detached from what other children are doing at school, unless you've got friends perhaps who are going to these places. I've seen this place sort of develop whenever it was 10 years ago. See, that's the thing, time just passes, doesn't it? Time just passes and you don't actually always know when things were around. Bohunt School is next to that. So I'm actually on the main drag to Broadwater from Worthing at this crossroads here, and you can't really see it, but just beyond the trees on the right hand side is where Broadwater Church is, which I walked up the other day. And then looking south this way is the route down to Worthing town, and on my left coming up is a recreation ground whose name escapes me. In fact, I think I've never actually been through the gates on there, because it's sort of between two places and it's too far for me to have brought the kids to. Getting some very odd looks from people. I'm not surprised. Not only am I walking like some pigeon-toed, demented old man, but I'm also holding a camera up in my face and down a main road, babbling a whole load of absolute nonsense. So I may end up having to make this one incredibly short. I was hoping at least to have walked into the cricket ground, and because it's got a nice cricket pavilion. I've got to cross the road. Let's see if I can do that. Here we go, Bohunt Worthing. It looks a very posh school, and it's still open, so presumably some kids of key workers go here. I don't know, maybe that's what's happening. I'll just show you this massive school there. Look at that, very new, strange black and white design. I don't know whether I like it or not, but I guess it's very perfunctory and it does what it says on the tin and offers a lot of facilities, no doubt, to children. So this is Manor South Ground, is where I was trying to get to. I'm going to cross the road. Oh, there's a man who's he's opening the gates. He's going to open the gates. I just want to have a look at the pavilion. He's got a van there which is going to come through, and it's the sports ground, I suppose. I don't know what the difference is between recreation and sports, but we'll let him come through. He's going to close the gates. Are we allowed in?
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. Here we go. Public space, dog control. So there's an area for dogs, which is quite a handy thing so that they don't overly foul the place. Let's walk into the actual sports ground. Very large open area, and I think this is very similar in size to the cemetery that I was going to visit. The Broadwater Cemetery is a huge cemetery. There are a lot of notable people in there, and it's the place that I've always wanted to go and spend a bit of time. Now, I don't know where Richard Jefferies' grave is. I dare say there is a plan online, but I thought my back wouldn't be quite as grim as it was. I made a big blunder there. So it is a beautiful space, and it's got a cricket ground, or the crease in the middle there, and this rather magnificent pavilion, which is about as far as I'm going to be able to walk in this video, and then I'm going to shuffle back home and have some breakfast. I've come out early in the morning. It's probably about 8:30 now, although that says it's 9:15. There we go. I want to try and get square onto it. At the far end you can just see this string of trees. Over there is an alleyway, or a twittons we call them in Sussex, and if you remember, I did a video where I walked through a tunnel which is at the back of close to my house. I went down some alleys and then the tunnel under the railway. That twitten carries on, or the passage that went under the tunnel, which is the twitten, carries on, and it goes down past this recreation ground, and it would go up onto the downs originally. That's just a by the by. Right, here we go. Here is the cricket ground, sorry, the pavilion. It's rather nice, I quite like it. It's very grand. It may be very basic because it's made of brick, but when you've got your audience up there and your cups of tea and your sandwiches being made, and activity, I'm sure it looks very nice. I don't know from what period that was built, probably 30s I imagine, but lovely little bit of ground, and in the far distance just about you can make out, and if those bloody flats weren't there you could see more of the South Downs, but our views are being taken away by more and more building, but that's for another story. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm going to limp home now. Sorry, this has been an incredibly lame video, but I didn't want to not have a video for today, so I've done my best. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, which I dare say you haven't, give me a thumbs up, and I will be back hopefully tomorrow with a slightly better back. Till then, thanks for watching. Bye bye.